I don't know why. I guess they're both, why am I? Radio show. Dancing with Dimensions is the one that I'm leaning towards. Anytime I speak, I want a one-line theme to keep the stream of consciousness streaming in a way that others can benefit. There will be times for more of the amped up, free-flowing stream. But when I speak, like I said, for what I'm practicing for, which is the radio program, it needs to be, and most certainly I'm leaning towards initial. This is hilarious. I cannot, just breathe. Dancing with Dimensions. And the one line I thought of this morning was, the physical matters. Day one, this is day one of the stability of the hub of my physical vessel. My physical vessel has to live in a home. I can't undervalue. Clearly, I couldn't undervalue. I couldn't overvalue. I couldn't overstate. It was impossible to overstate how valuable having my space was. I didn't consciously realize it to the extent required right off the bat, but that's why the universe guided, literally, this story, this essence to this home. I am living a story consciously. You are now a huge part of it. And it's time for me, I think, to be a little bit more direct about how consciously I'm living a story. I have been sharing it publicly. I'm not, we've got, that's the work. I've been living, spirit has been living this. Like I've just been aligning to something way bigger. And because I took as big a leap as I did, how do I say, I can't even tell you, I already, don't overthink. Oh, fuck, this is raw. You're helping me. Oh, God. This wasn't planned. I'm okay, trust. Breathe. No right or wrong. There's no pressure here. One person. And you don't even have to let him see it. Okay? Chill the fuck out. The physical matters to all of us spiritual folks out there. And I say more to people who identify as spiritual than religious. I think when we start to awaken, we're so excited and eager to jump and connect to beyond the physical. Because in no small way, the physical has us frustrated and feeling the physical is what we want to leave. At least the physical as it exists. You don't want to leave the physical. I mean, the those that are ready to leave and peace out and die, that's, I mean, obviously it's their time to leave, but we came here in physical for a reason. And a lot of it is to remember that we're more than the physical. And a lot of people do ascend and die, you know, when they've learned that lesson. But there are also increasingly large numbers of souls that are here to remember that while still in form, which means then you're acting in form. To live that truth in form, it really is to do what Jesus did. I mean, it really is. That ability is really, we have Christ consciousness, all of us within us. There's more opportunity for enlightened masters to be walking in form. And we're all masters in training. We're not necessarily all meant to be walking on water in this life, but we are all masters in training somewhere on that journey. And if we're not ready to walk on water, we're ready for all the shit here, so why not aim for, well, man, what would it take to walk on water? You know? Those of us that are religious and spiritual, religious, you know, we've got characters that we claim were the example. So now if the next part of the awakening is remembering that the example they set is in all of us, like we all can do exactly what they did, then why not aim for that right out of the gate? And you fall short, you know, so that's what the journey is. Now, more people have that chance to remember, what does it look like to live love every single day? What does that look like? What I was humbled to remember, choose to remember. I remember a feeling, like I get a feeling with my awakening. From that point on, trying to live with that feeling of the remembering is, I got a feeling that felt like what my calling, what my mission, what my soul came here to do. And I leapt big, and I leapt in a way where I fucking for sure knew how, to what degree. I mean, now I was all in for this thing bigger than me. I gave absolutely, positively everything, save my own life, but I didn't throw myself in front of a bus and take my own physical life. But in every way in the physical, like I was all in for the light. One of my favorite quotations, Shakti Gawain, the universe will reward you for risks you take on its behalf. The universe will reward you for risks you take on its behalf. Shakti Gawain. I didn't fucking fake that shit. You don't fucking do what I did because you want, why did the bud close back up? How naive was I? Like, how clear, if I had known the particular lessons that lay ahead when I made that innocent, pure choice to finally be and go after creating the world and being the human that I want to fucking be. A world of fear does not, a world of lack, fear, competition, and I've suffocated in this world. I finally was leaping into this, like I said, I was pulled into it. Can't fake that shit. And because it was so big, the choices, that I had to make, especially in the early days of how to face, like, holy shit, what did I never had a regret of how big I took. Never. There was never a regret. But had I known the challenges that lay ahead, that's the whole thing. You overthink it. I mean, that's we're being asked to stop and analyzing it like that. We're being asked to follow the crazy more. So that's kind of what I'm doing this morning. A little bit, but not really. I'm doing my best to just assimilate a big fucking day yesterday. Big fucking day yesterday. Fuck, man. I'm assimilating. When you're as sensitive as I am, and when you're living as consciously as I am, the smallest of things on the surface, seemingly the smallest of things, are enormous in my world. So, probably only going to get around. That's okay. If this segment I just talk, and the next segment I actually try to do what I'm talking about. Dancing with dimensions, and the one-line summary would be the physical matters. And it matters, in my opinion, more than ever when you do awaken. You stop hitting snooze, and you get to what I call the point of no return, where you just can't help it. You have to keep evolving. Like, you fucking can't even stop it. And the amount of, like, that's a whole nother program, if you will. About resistance and how much harder you make when you try to stop that, when you get to that point of no return. Well, my point of no return was November 18th, 2010. So I've just been holding on, you know, and doing my best with truly everything at my foundation being 100% different. But existing out in the world in a way, in a character that everybody really, yeah, maybe parts of her changed, but nothing on the surface visibly can demonstrate that. I got off on a tangent, the physical matters. When you awaken fully, and you lovingly begin to realize how much, even as a spiritual, awake, loving creature, you're living in fear, then you realize that the work is to transmute all that fear, all the layers of that fear that your human illusion provides for you to see. And it's an onion, man.